Yo, what's good, guys? How are we doing? We good? We're back finally. I've had like a week and a half off YouTube because I've been busy with a few things, but you know, we're going to keep the content coming. I've been planning still, getting things ready, looking at what it is I want to do. But we've just had a patch drop from EA. It's patch number 11, if I think I'm correct. From looking at it, there's nothing specifically about gameplay, but we all know that EA changes things in every patch behind the scenes that they don't tell us. I personally think they only tell us when they change something that you can see directly in the game, like the step overs, for example, you know, things like that, or the bridge nerf and things like that. Whereas I think they tweak things like the sliders and stuff like that every single time they do a patch, but there's no need for them to tell us about that. It's something that we won't see, but we may feel. Before we get into the gameplay and my thoughts on the patch, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We've smashed 1,000 subs. We've just smashed 1,100 subs as well. So I appreciate the support as always, guys. Honestly, the channel is going from strength to strength. I'm going to keep the content coming and we'll keep going and hopefully get to that 10k sub mark. That is the next goal, everybody. But on this pack specifically, they have just launched a new controller option, so we can now see, we'll just jump out of a team here, jump into the settings. I'll show you where to turn it on. Something that I'm really interested in and something we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to go through a full game. I'm going to talk through it, see what I think of the new patch and have a look at the control inputs and see what it does to the game. So if you go down to visual and go down to the bottom, you get a new option here called input overlay. So you can have it off, which obviously shows nothing. You can have it on, which is input only, where you get a control at the top right, which just shows your inputs, and that's it on your controller, and it shows the controller of your choice. So if it's Xbox, it'll show Xbox controller. If it's PlayStation, it'll show their version of a PlayStation controller, and you can have the local input and the online responses. So you get two controllers, one on the left with your input and one on the right with the online response. So when you do it on your controller, you can see the difference between when it actually happens to the server. So you should be able to see when delays are really bad, or whether you do something in game and it doesn't translate to the server side online response. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works and seeing if, you know, if we can see any issues, or whether, you know, it's something I'm doing on the controller rather than using my own overlay, which isn't completely accurate. So we'll get into it. We'll come out of here. We'll leave it on. We'll get into it, go into the game, and we'll talk about how the patch feels. We'll go into game of rivals and see what we think about the overlay as well. Here we are. This is the team up against. This is my first match as well. I've not played much FIFA this week. It's my first game on the new patch, straight into Division 1 rivals. It's Thursday as well, so you know it's going to be sweaty. Everyone's playing for them points. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at this overlay as well, see what I think of it, and see how the patch feels. There we can see the controller straight away. The one on your left is your input on obviously what you're doing on your controller. The one on the right is the response from the server side. So you can see at the moment we're looking at it, it's pretty sharp. Like it's saying that there's not much delay at all. Looking at that, you know, when I'm doing the inputs, it's happening pretty much instantly, to be fair. In terms of how the game feels, it feels pretty slow, but responsive. So it does actually feel like, you know, it is responding to the way it says on the controls at the top, but the gameplay feels slow. But that could just be a gameplay speed change from the patch, you know, a little adjustment. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the true test is going to be Weekend League. That's where we'll really see kind of how the server-side controller responds to your input device. But again, here, you know, Division 1, playing, you know, you're going to be playing good people, all playing for points here. I'm going to test a bit of everything, test some quick passing, I'm going to do some skill moves, some skill cancels, shot cancels, player switching, everything here to see how we get on with it. But so far it feels pretty good. You know, feeling pretty smooth, pretty slick. You know, I can do everything I want. The player switching is pretty responsive. Again, then, you know, we flipped the control the other way to get to draw the foul there. Nice and comfortable. You know, drawing the fouls again there, pretty sharp into Felix, double tap pass. He intercepts that well, to be fair. Through to Sinali. Keep your eye on the controls at the top as well, just to see the response. At the moment, it's pretty much on point. It's very close. There's not really any delay at all in terms of the response to the input, but obviously it does feel pretty slow in game. Quick passing there, working fast, ball roll, nice and slick. Lacroqueta cancel there, nice and responsive. Feeling pretty good, to be fair, but very slow. The gameplay feels very slow. So it's interesting to see that even though the input response is pretty quick, the gameplay feels slow and a bit sluggish. So I'm not quite sure what the cause of that is there, why it feels that way, beyond, you know, them tweaking maybe the speed of the game on the patch potentially. It does feel pretty slow at the moment to play. You know, you can probably see it's, you know, it's quite slow as well. You know, the gameplay isn't pinging, it's not fast. It's quite methodical, quite slowly built up, as you can see. Again, passing it into Bruno. Just practicing there, seeing how it feels. Feels sharp again. Does feel sharp, just slow, which is really weird. Really weird to explain. Into Felix, back to Adama. Try the cheeky pass to Ronaldo. We'll win it. Back will get a cancel there. Back out to Adama. In. Shot cancel. Completely responsive there. Straight away. Did it as soon as I did it. I shot. He was going to block it with his defender. I did the shot cancel into a shot again, which created that opening there for us to score there. Nice and sharp. Very, very sharp. So far, so good. Everything feels pretty similar to pre-patch. But obviously, don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that the game's any better and the game's really good. I'm just talking about how it feels in comparison to pre-patch and what you're seeing at the top, you know, on the controller. But yeah, very nice goal. Worked well. The shot cancel's really strong at the moment to create the openings and get around the AI and get that shot off. Into Bruno, trying the 1-2 pass in there, intercepts it, but you know, we're just trying to test the sharpness. Player situation's feeling good, very responsive. As you can see, it's still very even on the controllers. There's not much delay. Probably milliseconds, if that, to be honest with you. You can't see it with the naked eye, really. Just about, like with the input there, you can probably just see an ever so slight delay, but not much at all. You know, very, very impressive in terms of what they're actually showing us versus the input versus the delay. Into Ronaldo, nice little turn there, fake shot. Into Jones again, trying to twist and turn. He tackles us there. Just purely testing the responsiveness at the moment with the input controller and doing different things. Into Bruno, back to Felix, send him on a run into Kuleveska, send Kuleveska on a run, patience with Bruno. Again, really able to dribble quite easily at the moment and turn left and right. Into Ronaldo, back to Felix, again, quick passes, working very well. Still feels very slow though, I'm not going to lie, it's very slow, very sluggish still in terms of the way it feels, but the inputs are very responsive, which is what we're seeing at the top, which is, like I said, it's really, really strange, but that's FIFA for you. To Jones, turning back, patient play into Walker. You know, he's not very aggressive, so he's giving us time to play around with it. Double tap in there to Ronaldo. Tried a very, very delicate pass there, didn't pull off, but we are testing, can we pull things off? How's the gameplay feeling? Switching there, watching the runs, bringing back the CDM, not wait until the last minute to switch the centre back. We do that there, make a mistake, but then we cover the pass with Walker because he was looking for that pass there. Bring Walker back into the play and win the ball. Into Kuleveska, to Felix, Bruno there, a lovely pass down to Kuleveska. Again, we're running here, inputs are all looking good, everything's looking smooth at the top. Like a cancel there, got us a free kick, we'll take that. But yeah, so far, everything's feeling good. My passing's feeling good. My skills are feeling good. Skill cancelling feeling sharp. You know, everything's working really well. Into Ronaldo there. Won the foul with Bruno. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. So far, the game feels good. Like, it feels good in terms of everything I'm doing. It's responding really, really well. I just can't put my finger on why it still feels very slow beyond EA altering the speed of the game. Well, as you can see, you know, everything's pretty slick and sharp in terms of my inputs, which is counterproductive to the game feeling slow, which is strange, but maybe there's another reason for that beyond them slowing down the speed of the game. Again, there, did you see that sometimes I believe that kind of thing you just saw there, where the ball goes behind the player and the player carries on making a run like Rashford did there. Sometimes I feel that's delay, but maybe it's not. Maybe the game is just fundamentally broken, and it's certain the game that aren't right with the coding, and things get a little bit out of sync. Maybe it's really difficult, especially now we can see the input response. You know, to see the difference there. We need to see that again. I hope I can show you that again, and it doesn't jump. I'll just rewind it. I did a lovely touch, and then it's not going to do it. We did a nutmeg. We did a directional nutmeg with Ronaldo into the space. And I will show it at the end. I'll replay it. We did a quick pass into Ronaldo, one touch, directional nutmeg into the space in behind. Again, the input response was instant. Pulled it off into a lovely goal there into the space in behind. You know, that there we're getting no delays in the response. I think he's trying to copy us now and cancel the directional nutmeg. But yeah, it's seeing the input and how the game feels, it obviously gives you a different experience in your thought process. And you know, is it delay? Is it not? Is it issues with the game that are fundamentally wrong? You know, it does open a whole new kettle of fish in terms of REA being transparent. Is this controller correct? You would assume so, because this is what they're using for their kind of communication and feedback. They are allowing us as well to fill a form out if we do experience a game that's really delayed, and then they can have a look at it and check it out. So that's something they've not done before for everybody, which is nice to see. But very strong half. You know, we dominated, to be honest with you. I don't think he had one shot, to be fair. Everything was responsive. My play situation was good. My passing was good. My skills were responsive, happening what I wanted to. I could cancel when I needed to. Again, the only thing I can really say in terms of how the game feels after the patch is it feels slow. Gameplay feels slow. We're going to play very similar to FIFA 20, build the play up, keep the ball, and wait for the opportunities to pass it into the striker and, do the skill cancels, the shot cancels to create the space to get shot off, as you saw. Interesting. We'll go into the second half and see how we get on. Total domination, as you can see from the stats. And I'll show you a replay of the goals at the end so you can see exactly what they were like. Let's see how he comes out this time. He's 2-0 down, so you'd think he'd be more aggressive. But again, I'm able to track quite comfortably. My tracking's very accurate. I can be aggressive with my play, which I am being. For anyone that's wondering, I'm using 4-2-3-1 here as well. I'm doing a tactic video for that very soon. Work this tactic out really well. It's very aggressive. I play a high depth. I love to, win the ball back early, as you can see. With Jones there, I should have scored that. I should have chipped it, but we are 2-0 up and I am trying things. So, I'll forgive myself for that. If that was weekend league, I'll probably be a bit frustrated that I didn't finish it. But in rivals, we can live with that. It's through Ben Yedder. We need to swap. Yeah, we did. Play switching very instant there, but we tried to get the tackle and he probably did pretty good ball or just in time then to stop him getting tackled. But the response in the play switch was instant, which allowed us to stop him from getting a goal score opportunity there. Patience again. Cancelo into Walker, building the play up. You can see he's getting frustrated. He can't get the ball off me, but I am creating opportunities. Ball roll there. Ball roll scoop with Rashford down the wing. Aggressive. A little bit of a trick there, keeping the ball. Again, sharp, everything feels good. Fit like a Ketter. For some reason, I think it's something with PlayStation 5 control. That happens a lot when I'm playing, even though I don't touch the PlayStation button. But there's not really much I can do about that. It seems to be an issue with PlayStation 5 controls. Into Bruno, win it back aggressively into Felix. Kuleveski, directional nutmeg, bang, another goal. Very sharp. Everything was good there. Instant reaction to my inputs, and we got another goal. And I think he might be rage quitting. He does. There we go, rage quits. Again, overall opinions. Felt good, very sharp. Gameplay was slow, but that's more to do with the speed of the way they're letting the game play in Rebels at the moment, I think. But all the inputs were responsive, they were sharp. As you could see there in the controller. Again there, the shot cancel, very effective. This is the directional nutmeg I was talking about. Into Ronaldo, one touch. Directional nutmeg, left button and right button, into the direction behind him. Solid space in there, very sharp goal. In an instant as well, which shows that the input was reactional to what was happening in game. But yeah, very, very good game. Dominated it, felt good. Just felt slow. But yeah, there we go. That's my first game on the new patch. I want to do something a little bit different in this video, talking over the gameplay, doing a reaction to the patch, how it felt on my first game. I hope you enjoyed it. Took you through my thought process, how I kind of test new patches. I do tend to experiment, try a lot of skill moves, try the cancels, try the shot cancels, trying different types of passes, player switch, that kind of stuff. And just a little insight into kind of what I'm thinking and how I feel about the gameplay as I'm playing as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of it? What do you think of the patch? Have you noticed anything? Do you like the controller inputs being given on the online response? For me, it's fantastic because I like to do tutorial videos and training videos, and it allows me to be transparent with you guys rather than use my own overlay, which is, even though it's very good, this gives us absolute perfect accuracy in terms of controller input for you guys to have a look at what I'm doing and replicate that and, learn from it as well. Everybody have a great week, great weekend, good looking foot champs. My next video is going to be a 4-2-3-1 tactics, so keep the alerts on, keep right out for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.